Hi, I'm Sierra Cartwright, and I'm going to read to you a short excerpt from With This Collar. And now, friends, Lana will offer her submission to her new husband, Damian Lowell said. Julia scowled. Submission? Lana and Julia had chatted on the phone earlier in the week to discuss the final wedding plans. Lana had warned that the union would be a bit untraditional. She'd been vague about the details, but she'd made Julia promise to say nothing during the ceremony. They'd been friends since they were 10, and there was no way Julia would miss the festivities, even if they were a bit odd. Until now, everything had been what she expected. Lana and Ben were being married at their friend Damian's mountain home. Damian was also performing the ceremony. About 24 of the couple's closest friends had gathered in the great room, and at dusk, Lana had descended the stairs of Damian's picturesque home, carrying a single, beautiful white rose to match her full-length gown. The only gift requested had been a candle. In a romantic gesture, the pair had said all they wanted was their friends to light their way into their future. As Ben and Lana had joined hands and faced Damian, fat snowflakes had fallen from the cloudy sky. The vows had included the word obey, which was somewhat unusual among their circle of friends, but everything else had been normal. Lana had placed her rose on the mantel behind Damian before she and Ben exchanged rings. Lana? Damian prompted. Yes, sir, Lana said. Sir? Until tonight, Julia hadn't met Damian. She knew he was a friend of the groom's, and he was drop-dead movie star handsome. The man had rakishly long, dark hair that curled at his nape, and he wore an indefinable air of command as easily as he filled out his charcoal gray suit. But still, for her friend to call him sir? Lana cast her gaze at the floor and gracefully turned her back to her new husband. Ben undid the row of tiny buttons that held her gown closed. What the hell? Ben drew the material from Lana's shoulders and let the dress fall to the floor. Lana, wearing stacked heels, a merry widow, and stockings, stepped out of the dress, and another man scooped it up and laid it across a chair. Like Damian, this man was also ridiculously tall. That was where the resemblance ended. This man had an olive complexion that hinted at a Mediterranean background. His head was shaved. He wore black jeans and a black t-shirt that revealed a number of tattoos. A thick, knotted silver bracelet adorned his left wrist, and a silver stud pierced his right earlobe. He could have been a pirate in a former life. Suddenly, unconventional took on a whole new meaning. Julia had never been more distressed. Part of her wanted to make an escape, and a bigger part of her wanted to shake some sense into her friend, but she was riveted in place by her promise to remain silent. With a grace that spoke of practice, Lana knelt. What? All through college, they'd vowed to keep their independence. They'd pushed against a glass ceiling, and they'd fought for their positions in corporate America. And now her friend was kneeling in front of her husband, almost naked, for their guests to see. Julia wondered if she was the only one who was frozen in shock. Lana spread her legs a little bit farther, and she leaned forward to kiss one of Ben's shoes. Julia gasped. From the front of the room, Damian looked over his shoulder at her, his eyebrows raised. Firm, relentless hands landed on her shoulders. Her heart rate increased with her panic. Be quiet, a man whispered harshly into her ear. I said be quiet. She gritted her teeth. The man's tone was commanding. He pulled her back a bit, and she inhaled the unmistakable and sexy scent of leather. In that same rich and rough, for her ears only voice, he added, or else I'll haul your sweet ass out of here and turn you over my knee.